boy Marcus Norman from Gentleman Style Podcast, your host of number one podcast, coming to you live in America. And today we have the incredible guest, Miss Monica V. Black. Is a native of Indianapolis, Indiana, but currently resides in Cincinnati, Ohio. She graduated from Central State University with a major in accounting. Numbers. Have a delicate passion with numbers. But she is here today on Gentleman Style Podcast and to give back and to share and to help us make the transition into full-blown 100% entrepreneurship. Although she's a CPA, that is not her practice. She has been working in financial services for over 20 years. Ms. Black has licenses in investments and life insurance, and her financial literacy is her passion. Ms. Black is also, get it? She's also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Inc. Gotta say the Inc. I learned that a long time ago. Can't say without the Inc. Please welcome to the stage the incredible, the amazing Miss Monica Black. Yay!
Yay! Hello. Thank you so much for having me as a part of your program today. I'm really excited about that.
We are excited to have you. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for supporting the show and giving back today. I love learning, and you are an absolute wealth of knowledge. I've been able to pick your brain in the workup to this show, and entrepreneurship is one of the scariest things to dive into, and but this pandemic has taught us that it's necessary, and you are an expert in the industry that can help us learn what it is we need to do before we take that first step. So Miss Monica, tell us, how does someone know that they are ready to commit to becoming 100% self-employed? What things need to line up first before I take the jump?
Okay. And so the very first thing I would say is to be willing to give up everything that you have to be self-employed. So that means your savings, your retirement monies, be willing to give up time away from your family, knowing that things may not always go as quickly as you would like them to go, working at least 60 hours a week at least, and know that your bills may not get paid for a couple of months. And so we have to start with that mindset. And then once you get past that hurdle and have at least, I'll say 3 months worth of expenses, then you can make sure that you get a business plan. And maybe I should state a written concrete business plan that you can either get a template or figure it out from the internet, or, all depending on your business, seek a professional, because you're going to have to know what your expected expenses are, what your income's going to be 2 to 5 years, what marketing plan you should really have. You just don't want to be put in a position in which at the end of the day, you are broke.
Ooh, that hurt me, but we need to hear it. We need to hear that. Right. And I love how you said that. And I love how you directed that to be prepared to lay it all on the line, because this is the new profession. This is the new you. It's no longer punching someone else's clock. You are on your own time. So you have to give it your 100% all. So Miss Monica, there are some people that had businesses for a long time, even before the pandemic. How can someone tell if they're operating like a 1099 or they're actually incorporated, or is this just a hobby? What's the difference? And what's the difference between those?
Okay, so the 1099 and the incorporated, it just depends on what type of business that you want to have. And I'd say talk to a tax person to determine which is going to be the most beneficial for you, because you just don't want to be stuck in like, oh, I should have did this, I should have did that in the middle of a tax period. And a hobby operates off of emotion. Ooh. So if things are going well and excited, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm taking over the world. Life is good. I'm going to conquer everything. But then when the business doesn't do as well, then it's, well, is this business really for me? Well, I don't know. Well, maybe I should try something else, you know? And so a hobby means that, again, you're operating from your emotions and you don't want your emotions to take control of your dreams. So you have a decision to make. Do I want to operate off of emotions, or do I want to look at the future, not just think about today? Today is going to be okay. But if you're a business person, you have to think longer in the future so that you will be in business, a prosperous business for a long time.
I love that. I love that. So forward thinking. You all, do you see the incredible creativity, the incredible mind on Miss Monica? She is forward thinking and she's taking us into the future and she's dropping nuggets today. And that makes so much sense. It makes absolute sense. So Miss Monica, one of the benefits or perks from that scares a lot of people, scares me, going fully self-employed is my life insurance with my employer. Are there any options for someone who is making that leap but can still cover themselves with life insurance? Is there any vehicles that can still cover me and protect my family in the event of my untimely, unexpected demise?
Perfect. And yes, there are a variety of programs. And I always say, with your employer's program at your job or at the job, they're the owner of the policy, not you. So it's always exciting to have your own outside of the job anyway. And so it's a matter of first determining how much coverage you need and what you want. And so life insurance is designed to protect lost income, not to protect a person's life. So lost income. For example, if you're married, okay, and there are two incomes coming into the household, and one of those incomes are taken away, and you still have your mortgage, your car note, you have expenses, you know, you may have kids, what would the quality of life of that person be like? It would consistently it would just drop away. And so making sure that you have enough coverage to put yourself in the exact same position for that family. And when you're a business owner, there's something called key man's life insurance policy. Okay. Everyone should have a key man's life insurance policy, meaning that if you are the center of your business or you are in a partnership and that business or that partnership is centers around you, you are the guru, then you need to have a policy in which the business is the owner and the beneficiary so that it will continue to operate like it's supposed to. If you don't do that, someone passes away, swoosh, it's gone. And you have to start all over again. And you don't want to rebuild a business when you've been putting in your time, your energy, your heart into it. So you want to make sure that it continues. But I would say the type of insurance that I recommend for everyone is level term insurance. Why?
Why?
Because with level term insurance, you can get way more coverage for a lower cost. And so while you're racking up these expenses or just getting jump started, you want to make sure that you and your family's life is good. Otherwise, again, you could be in a position that you really didn't want to be in, or that thing called GoFundMe. I don't know if you see those GoFundMes, but GoFundMe, bake sale, spaghetti dinner, car wash, you know, all of those things you want to stay away from, especially when we have a control and it doesn't cost a lot of money. And I'll just say this last point with this insurance. Sometimes people think that if they mention the word life insurance, that they're going to die. Can you believe that? You know, now we all know our birth date, but we don't know our death date. And we need to make sure that we plan for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Miss Roxanne, I am with you. She is speaking incredible knowledge. I see GoFundMe, WeFunder, donate to this, donate to that. I didn't plan for this, I didn't plan for that. And I understand that it's, and I want to empathize. And Miss Monica empathizes with all those that are experiencing this. This is why she's here, to lift the veil on something that we all need, right? Because the one thing we are all guaranteed is to die. And as unfortunate and as sad as it is, the one thing Miss Monica is here to do is help us plan. And let's talk about it. And let's talk about the preparing our household, even when we're going into full-blown self-employment. Miss Monica, those were incredible, incredible words. And you're speaking truth. How do I, in going along this path, so you've taught us how to start off by protecting our loved ones and protecting our finances in the event of our passing, but just getting off the ground, building a legitimate and recognizable business. Where does someone start to create an authentic business? I know a lot of people that are in business with operating out of their personal accounts. So what setup do I need to establish a real life entity?
Okay. And so the first thing is determining what type of entity you want to be. Okay. And so make sure that that person that you talk to, I'd say, please talk to a professional, not from your friends and, people that have been there, whatnot. Make sure that you talk to a professional to get that taken care of. And then please do not mix your personal expenses with your business account. Okay, keep them separate. And if you can get a business credit card, even if it's at a lower limit, $1,000, $2,000, hopefully it'll be at least 10,000, but right, whatever you can get, because that is going to help you establish credit, just that you have not mingle that money. If you ever get audited, which I haven't, but you don't want to get audited. I've had friends that have gotten audited, and it's kind of hard to determine what is what overall, especially if you file a Schedule C. So you're using your social security number and you're doing DBA, doing business as. So you want to make sure that it is completely separate. And I'd say have some sort of a system like maybe QuickBooks or whatever is easier for you. I know there are a lot of programs now where you can take a picture of a receipt or whatnot, and you can automatically categorize, and you don't have to worry about having boxes at the end of the year saying, here, tax person, figure it out. I'll pay a little extra money and life is good. Okay. So you're making sure that you're doing it at the same time, which makes it easier. And if you travel with your job, so you can, or with your business, and you can take away or take off travel, mileage, have some sort of tracker on your phone. And right when you have that tracker, you can put who you went to see, where you were going, and what the purpose of that visit is or was. So it makes it good for bookkeeping.
And why is it important to have good books? Who's going to come looking for me? No one knows that I'm making this money on the side, right?
Of course they don't. They would never know. But Uncle Sam sometimes is nosy, and Uncle Sam can find you. And especially, say if you have a business that is completely cash. I know a lot of people that have cash businesses. Then they want to try and invest their money. What's a source of income? You don't have any earned reportable income, do you?
True.
No, you do not. You want to make a major investment. You want to buy a building. Where's your traceable, reportable income? It's non-existent. And so it's okay. It really is okay to pay taxes, but you just have to make sure that you do it in the right way and the legal way.
I love that. That's true. That is so true. You all are incredible, Miss Monica. We are here with Miss Monica Black, spilling the educational financial tea on taking that step to full-blown entrepreneurship and being self-employed, going in all the way. But she's giving us the tools that we need to be thinking about before we make that initial step. We are going to go to a quick commercial break because these lights don't stay on by themselves. We will be right back. We'll be right back, and stay tuned. Love you guys.
I'm Marcus Norman, bringing fresh vibes to hot topics surrounding culture, relationships, business, finance, sex, dating, faith, and everything in between. Whether you're into passive income opportunities, trending topics and useful relationship tips, or dynamic guest speakers, there's something for everyone. You can expect all that and more every week. If you're down with this content, then consider joining our growing community by subscribing to Gentleman Style Podcast and smash the bell to get on our VIP list. Your support means the world. Thanks for watching. Link to my channel.
Everybody, this is Marcus Norman, and I am here with the incredible, this amazing, super fragilistic espialidocious Miss Monica Black, and she's spilling the financial tea and helping us take that journey into entrepreneurship 100%. She just talked about getting our financial house in order, getting our life insurance in order with a special kind of life insurance policy. If you missed that, connect with her or scroll back to the live show because this is live and we don't want to miss a thing. Miss Monica, you are absolutely amazing, and thank you for helping us build a legitimate business the right way. What are some financial considerations that one needs to make? Because again, the safety net or the illusion of safety comes from having my 401k right at my job. So if I leave corporate America, I now lose my 401k. So what is out there for me that I can still invest in without and still invest in my retirement, even though I'm self-employed and I work fully for myself? Are there any vehicles out there?
Yes, and actually, there are a variety of vehicles, but in today's world, even pre-pandemic, a lot of companies had a retirement program, but they weren't matching any money. So it's like you were having your own anyway. And so just think of it as an exciting way in which you get to choose the funds that are a part of your retirement as opposed to being in a box. So there are IRAs, there is a solo 401k, there's a SEP, all of these other different types of things. But I would say for everyone, even if your investment is minimal, make sure that you pay yourself first. Pay yourself first, because if you don't, I'm telling you, time will go on by. Time has gone by quick for me, like super quick, and you will find yourself being more seasoned, and you want to be more seasoned with some money. And now if you think about how much retirement money you really need to have, you really need to have at least $1 million. At least $1 million.
Bare minimum.
At least bare minimum. And so think about it like this. If a person was investing $50 a week or $200 a month, and say they were getting around 9% rate of return, invest in the stock market, mind you, not what I call UIM under your mattress, right? And so it's invested, and you do so for 40 years. I'll just say from 25 to 65. That's the first thing that comes out of my mind. With 9%, you'd have around $957,000 saved up.
True.
That's a lot of money.
That is.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. And I love how you laid that foundation and you laid that groundwork there. Investing in things out. That's incredible to be able to invest. So you recommend investing in these SEP IRAs and these SOL IRAs while I'm still working, before I even leave corporate America?
Everyone should have a Roth IRA, and it is called a gift from the government. Why? And your Roth IRA can be funded through mutual funds, which is what I primarily recommend. And what a Roth IRA is if you have it for at least 5 years, even if you're not putting money in it, by the time you get retirement age, which is at least 59 and a half, you don't pay any taxes on the gains.
Ooh, like
nothing.
That.
It's called free money. And the government did that long time ago because too many people were focusing on Social Security as their primary retirement source. And it was never designed to be that way. And for millennials, it will be called gas money if you make it, because Social Security is set to run out of money in the year of 2034. So I don't know what's going to happen after that point in time, but 2034, the well is run dry.
The clock is ticking. Miss Monica Black just spilled the tea, y'all. The clock is ticking. Social Security is not going to be around, I would say, much longer. Right? I know that seems like a long time horizon. That will be here before we even know it. Miss Monica, we have a question from Miss Sabine Jules Watson.
Mm-hmm.
And so she asked, would you recommend investing in Robinhood apps? And so I'll caveat to that. What Robinhood, robo-advisors, do you recommend any of those handheld robot investments for investing in?
Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. So if you're looking for long-term wealth building, then the answer would be no, because it is hit or miss. You need to have someone that's going to help you through that. But if it's for short term and I'm just trying to see how things are going to go, then that's a completely different story. But for wealth building, no. But it's a great app though. It really is.
And so, yeah, and that makes absolute sense. The thing with these robo advisors is they don't do any justice because it doesn't allow you. It completely removes the expert, right? Mm-hmm. Robinhood just says, here's a stock. Do you want any shares? You haven't had any financial education, which is what this show is. You haven't had the training. You don't have someone mentoring you through the investing process. And that's what Miss Monica does. Is she educates. And so Robinhood, all these other apps, all these other robo advisors removes the education piece, which is what all of us should be doing before we invest any of our money. And that's what she's talking about, y'all. That's absolutely amazing. Miss Monica, how do I protect myself from certain health risks? Is there any protections there if I get injured? Because now all my responsibility for my health insurance is on me.
It is. And so there is, if you go online to, I think it's called healthcare.gov. Yes, it is called healthcare.gov. And all you need to do is put in your information and then these different selections of what you want. And then from there, you're going to see all of these different options, and you can figure out what option is going to be conducive for you and your family. So if you have to have a high deductible, you just have to have a high deductible, but you have health insurance. But that is the best place to go. And you can always get supplemental for vision, for dental, because those things, they really do add up.
They do. So tune in, y'all. So that makes sense. You can still get healthcare even though you're not with your employer. It's still out there. That was passed by the Obama administration at the Affordable Care Act. And so healthcare.gov is still out there. The website isn't taken down and people are still eligible to go out there and still provide coverage for themselves. Even if it's at a higher deductible, you are still protected in the event, and you won't pay for that $6,000 treatment, that $10,000 treatment out of pocket because you wanted to climb a tree today. So, Ms. Monica, I love that, and that absolutely makes sense. So we can still protect ourselves. How can I protect my business assets? Since I work from home, right? Since we're all in the age of COVID and everyone's at home, I don't need to really worry about that, right?
That would be an incorrect statement. So that you would always need to have business insurance, and business insurance can be for liability. It can be for errors and omissions. It can be for cybersecurity, all of those different things, and all depending on your business would determine what type of insurance that you would really need. And typically it's not that expensive. It's just that when you're first getting started, it's like insurance, expense, all of these things are adding up. But I will guarantee you that it will be well worth it if you were put in a situation that you did not ask to be in.
That makes sense. I love that. So now I have protected my business. I've protected with life insurance. As a CEO of my company, we've covered health insurance, retirement. Now we're gonna go into taxes, everybody's favorite, right? So when I was working, my employer took the taxes out, and I never had to worry about taxes. But now I'm self-employed. How do I pay my own taxes? How do I pay Medicare? Where do I send a check to Social Security so that because it's all on me now? What do I do with that tax money?
Okay. Well, first you have to tell yourself that paying taxes is fun. Okay. Because now the money is coming out of your pocket. I'm just saying it's coming out of your pocket, and it's not always super exciting to do so. But you can pay your taxes. It can be monthly, quarterly, biannual, annual, and you can do so online. Go to the IRS website. They'll allow you to establish an account. They'll give you a number, and then you can just pay them yourselves. I will tell you from my experience is that when people have to take out a pen and write a check,
It hurts.
that check it hurts, and it's sitting on your desk for a very long period of time. And I'd rather pay some taxes than no taxes. And if you don't pay enough taxes, there's something called a penalty for not paying enough taxes in advance. And so just go ahead, and even if it's okay, well, I'm going to pay 200, 300, whatever in the world the case may be, it will make a difference, but you have to make sure that you do it. So I strongly encourage everyone, especially since we're in an electronic age, go ahead and pay it on, very traceable. Not say, oh, I didn't get it, because the staffing at the IRS right now is rather limited. Okay. And so I would say just go ahead and do that. And make sure that the state and local taxes are paid also, because we always focus on the federal, but many states have state taxes and some cities have local taxes, and they can get you by putting a lien against your property or something similar. And you don't want that.
Nobody does. I don't want that. And so go ahead down to that local municipality and your local treasurer's office for your city, y'all. Get down there and get that information. We're going to go to one more quick commercial break, and we will be right back. We have Miss Monica Black spilling all the self-employment tea. See you guys soon.
Are you a local business looking to offer your customers easy access to cash without having to travel miles? We're here to help. At Norman Legacy Investments, we provide free ATMs with free installation that provide a suitable investment for your business. Even better, we offer you some profit sharing and handle everything from start to finish. Just reach out to us today to schedule a free consultation.
Hey, y'all. We are back. This is Marcus Norman, Gentleman Style Podcast, your host, and we have the incredible Miss Black, financial expert of over 20 plus years of knowledge and experience. And doesn't she look incredible, y'all? She's amazing, stunning, and she's here with us, blessing us with her mind and her grace and beauty. Miss Monica, you helped us protect our assets, our life, you helped us incorporate earlier in the show. And so we have a question from Miss Sabine. She's about to jump off, y'all. Miss Sabine Watson wants to know, I want to start a telehealth clinic. What is the best way to go about insuring it for liability?
Okay. And so I would say the best, because that's a whole different world. Okay. Because there is a lot of things that could make you liable. And so I would say contact your insurance agent, or if you want, you can contact me, no obligation or anything of that nature. And I can walk you through the process and talk about the different things that may be conducive for you. And then from there, you can make an informed decision of what you want. But you know what, Sabine, I am so excited that you're even asking that question. I really am, because a lot of people, They don't. But that would be my That would be my suggestion. Don't go searching on the internet. That's not the best way to go for that.
What is, and you touched on this earlier. Great question, Mr. Bean. You touched on this earlier, Miss Monica. What is errors and omissions?
Okay, so that means that if you make a mistake, especially say if you have an accounting business, an accounting practice, or booking, whatever in the world the case may be, dealing with numbers, it's easy to make a mistake. And the mistake that you made may have caused a significant loss to an individual or a company. I know. And so what you can do is say, I need to have coverage up to this amount just in case I make an error.
Ooh. So that protects you to help you fix the mistake, or just to help compensate the individual or the business for the mistake that was made, because we're human.
Oh, of course. And that would be compensation. Compensation to fix it. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Miss Shanique Henry. That's incredible. Thank you for that denotion. Y'all, we have a new feature. I just wanted to touch on this really quick because I see y'all doing it now. This feature allows us to donate, and it helps us improve the channel. So we take those donations to help put all of this together. All of this costs money. So thank you for that, Miss Shanique. I wanted to thank you publicly. And thank you, Miss Monica. And Miss Sabrine, thanks you for that incredible question. Marcus, can you send me her number? I will, as soon as I get it. I don't have
I'll send it to you, Marcus.
I will.
Funny.
I have to be, but I'm glad that blessed you. And that's why I wanted Miss Monica to speak on errors and omission, because I can imagine in the telehealth industry that the opportunity is there for you to make a mistake, especially because you're not sitting one-on-one with your clientele. So what's the difference between, so I figured out my taxes. I figured out my tax situation, and I want to hire my first employee, but I don't know where to start. What should I look into before I hire my first employee for my self-employed business?
Okay. Well, first you need to see and figure out if this person is going to be an independent contractor, or is this person going to be an employee, because those are two different worlds. And also figuring out about how much it's going to cost you for you to have this additional individual. If it's a 1099 or independent contractor, that's simple and easy. You still have to report the income on a 1099. But if it's a true employee, then there is a ritual that you have to go through a bunch of paperwork to make sure that everything is being taken care of, including the taxes and all of that. Absolutely. So you have to make a decision first. What type of a person is this going to be?
So if they're going to be a 1099 or if they're going to be a full-time employee, are the taxes handled differently for each one? Like, do I withhold taxes on both?
Nope. 1099, you do not have to withhold any taxes whatsoever. That's on them. So but we do have to.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to say that the income is reportable. You just don't have to do any taxes, pay any taxes.
So that's my favorite one. I'm going to just say that right now. That's my favorite one. Give them all the money, right? Give them the money and let them file taxes on their own. I got enough stuff to figure out just holding my own taxes. I don't need, here you go, $200, blah. Thank you, Ms. Monica. I love that question. How do I offer my employee benefits? Because the biggest issue that most employers face is keeping quality candidates on payroll. Mm-hmm. And that's, I can incentivize my employees with health insurance, life insurance. How do I go about getting them benefits? A 401k, that type of thing.
Okay. And so all depending on how many employees that you have would determine what type of retirement program, but people love to hear the word benefits and retirement all together. And so all depending on the program would determine if that employer has to participate in the program, meaning having to pay a certain percentage. Like if it was a self-employment IRA, there's a percentage that you would have to pay for everybody. It might be minimal, but still is something that would have to be paid. And so a person could say, you know what? I want to make sure that everyone can just have an IRA, a Roth IRA. And do you know what? I'm going to have someone do a presentation so that people can gain an understanding of investments and then actually implement that program for them. The money's not coming from their paycheck, but we can have it come from a checking account or things of that nature. And they're the most excited person that you have ever seen because no one has sat down with them and say, this is what you need to do. People do not know how much money they need to set aside for retirement, or what is a lot of money. So if I've never had hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you tell me that I'm going to have 300,000, then they may feel they won the lottery. But I would say that's a good start. We need to get to $1 million. Okay. Yeah. And what do I need to do to get there? And so I would say that would be the very best thing. And, one key point for everyone, in addition to those employees, I'm telling you, if you share with them the rule of 72, the rule of 72 is the best rule ever. So if you have a pen, can put it in your phone or whatever. I didn't come up with it. It's called the banker's rule. And the way that this rule is if you take 72 and you divide it by the interest rate, it will tell you approximately how many years it will take for your money to double. So it works for you with investing, against you with debt. So I'm just give a couple examples. If you're getting that little 1% rate of return at your bank, credit union, 72 divided by 1 is 72. So every 72 whole long drawn out years, your money would double. You'd have to start off as an infant and hope you live to be age 72. So that would not be a good option. If you're getting 3%, then that means every 24 years, your money would double. Not good. So if you had a $10,000 investment in 48 years, you'd have $40,000. You earn $30,000 in 48 years. Which is called highway robbery, right? And if you factor in inflation, that's been about 3%, you broke even with your purchasing power. So you didn't really do too much of anything. And so by sharing with them that information, and I recommend mutual funds that have been getting between 9 and 12% rate of return. So that means every 8 years or every 6 years, all depending, so that a person can have wealth, not get rich, because rich, it comes and goes. Wealth is a lifetime, and they can have the lifestyle that they want and desire and have generational wealth for them, their kids, and their kids' kids, which is how it's supposed to be.
I love that. And so, and I hope nobody's missed that. I really hope no one has missed that. Miss Monica just spread some very, very great information right there. And the rule of 72 talks about it, talks about compounding. That's what that basis is around. It's compounding your money. And that's why the higher interest you make, the quicker your money will double for you. And that's what we want. And that's what she's teaching. And that's what you get when you, that's what you get when you work for her. I'm still getting oriented with this live streaming. But that is powerful. Miss Monica, what is your favorite book that you would recommend what is long-term care insurance? That's important.
Okay, so long-term care insurance, it protects you. So as you get older and you go to, let's say, an assisted living facility, or you need someone to come into your home, like for home health care, that you don't have to spend all of your money to cover those things. I don't know if you've ever had a relative or whatnot that's been in a facility, whether you wanted to or not. If that would be me too. My father had Alzheimer's, ended up in a facility. It cost about $1,500 a day. $1,500 a day. He had long-term care insurance, so life is good. I mean, it didn't matter. But if you don't have that kind of money, cash money, you don't have long-term care insurance, how do you feel that your loved one's going to be taken care of? And if you get it while you're younger, you're going to pay the same cost as an older person.
So the price never changed throughout the life of the policy.
Oh, it's going to change, all depending on what you want. Right. And how many years you want to have it for. But it's a matter of making sure you don't spend everything that you have. Because if you want the government to pay for it, they want you to spend everything that you have. There's a 5-year look back period. So you can't, try and hide and give it away to a child or whatnot, because they're going to find it. But I do believe they give you $25. I think it's the stipend now. You get $25 stipend per month.
Yay. I can't even get excited about that. I that's terrible. That's our government, y'all. That's our society. That's how Uncle Sam wants to take care of you. Please, if you don't do anything else, if you've heard nothing else, connect. This information is public. Miss Monica Black is live and direct, and she's spilling all the time. She's, as you see, she's a wealth of knowledge. Miss Monica, thank you for that. What is your favorite book that you recommend every man or woman should read?
Okay, it is called Mind Power by John Kehoe. And the reason why I like his book and actually all of his teachings is because everything starts and stops with the mind. And if we don't have the power of the mind, then everything else means nothing. The environment means nothing. Our self-talk makes a big difference. Our visualization makes a big difference. What we say to ourselves, we embed in our mind. And if we're embedding the wrong thing in our mind, you can have a whole lot of money, but you're going to be broke internally. I mean, you will be stuck in your business. Be stuck in your business. Kehoe, he has several key options, with time, I won't go through them all, but I say them all the time because your mind, it determines everything. And if you give control over your mind to anything, it's a wrap. Mind power.
That's so true. What is your favorite way to give back to your community?
My favorite way would be through public service. It also is through economic empowerment and development, because money, it talks. You can do a whole lot of things, but if you don't have any cash money, or the children haven't learned about money principles, it used to be called, I'll say when I was growing up, that is grown folks business. Well, when in the world can I become a grown folk? I need to know these principles so that they can become a habit and life will be good. So public service, of course, and economic development. That's my ways, or are my ways.
I love that. She's a public servant. Even being on here today, she's serving her community. And I see her passion. Y'all see her passion, right? It is just flowing through her because she enjoys what she does and she's helping everyone get to a better financial future. Miss Monica, how can my audience connect with you? How can they reach out to you and grow with you and learn offline?
Okay. So I am on Facebook, Monica Williams Black. So you'll see my face pop up. You can always contact me via email, and it's Monica V Black, V like Victoria, but that's not my middle name. Monica V Black at gmail.com. Or if you request, I will give you my phone number.
There you go. So there you go, Miss Sabine. And I know a couple audience members are trying to grow as well. Miss Monica V Black at gmail.com. She's on Facebook via her name. And once you reach out to her, once you connect with her, if you want to set up that consultation, that appointment, you can ask and request her phone number and she will give it to you. She's not shying away. She's a public servant, y'all. Most public servants, you can't even track them down. So here she is giving back. It's so true. I'm not
You're
lying.
right.
It is so hard to catch people to give back. Miss Monica, I thank you today. You are a
You're
blessing.
welcome.
You are absolutely amazing. I want to say this to you on behalf of my audience. Please don't ever give up. Please don't ever stop. Don't ever quit what you're doing, because we need you. The world is changed by your influence.
Mhm.
And so I thank you, my sister. I appreciate you.
No, you're
And
welcome.
and I appreciate you, my audience, the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope this message has served you. Please like, share, and subscribe. We need to uplift Miss Monica and what she's doing for her community, because it is important. Like I always tell you guys, I love you. I got to give her back. I can't keep her. She got stuff to do. So like I always say, take care of your friends, take care of your families, and always, always, always take care of business.